Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Hatching for Health, where our mission is to create a platform for people to tell their story, to educate the public, and to build a more compassionate community. And I'm your host, Jessica Hatch. Today we're going to begin the episode talking about how our community can better support homeless animals. Animal rights advocate Anastasia Malavansos is here to share what Houston could be doing differently to help these animals. Next, we'll be joined by Stephanie Plata with Emancipet, who will tell us about the work that they're doing to give back and make a real impact. And later, we'll hear from retired veteran and CEO of Stay Tuned for Vets, Kim Stroud, and his service dog, Colten. STA Vet is a nonprofit organization that helps retired veterans access mental health care resources, including service dogs, and Tim will share their inspiring story and mission. Now, our first guest, Anastasia, has dedicated more than 40 years to being a powerful voice for animals in need. Anastasia Malavansos is an animal rights advocate who has spent decades fighting for compassion, awareness, and stronger support for animals across the community. So we are so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're beautiful, and I love your attire today. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, for animal rights, it's the first time we've been able to speak about these things on Hatching for Health. So it's really exciting to meet somebody in the community like yourself.
Well, I've been fighting a long time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Houston has a long way to go.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what got you into, this arena.
Oh my gosh, I've been an animal advocate since I was this tall, bringing animals home that needed help, since I was a little girl. Then I have a master's in veterinary pharmacology from A&M.
Okay.
So I've worked with animals pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, it's just been a passion of yours for forever.
Absolutely.
So when did you actually get into, helping more than just what household you could bring in?
A long time ago. More recently, since I am retired now, I have the time to spend doing it. And I advocate a lot with city council as well as people involved in the community that take care of these animals. I do an annual food drive. I was sharing with Janelle my food drive that I've done for 18 years now. Okay. And that's how I met Lori Jo.
Lori, who put us in contact.
Yes. I donated about 9,000 pounds of food last year to small rescues such as Corridor Rescue, 632 Canine Rescue, and to people that just go out every night and feed these poor animals that are starving.
Wow.
It helps them and it alleviates the monetary burden that they have for taking care of these animals.
And this, the food drive that you do, this is something you do annually where you just kind of do one big focus and get a ton of food for them to kind of store up on.
It used to be just October, November, December. This past year, it's been all year long because the need has been so incredible.
So you're just constantly collecting and then going out and getting it dispersed to these. So, is it also sometimes just directly to the homeless individuals, or is it always kind of through a group that's handling it?
Oh no, I have a lot of people that are independent street feeders, and they come to me at night or during the weekend after hours. They get food. I have one lady in Fort Bend County. She has 3 jobs. She's my age or older, and she takes care of about 70 homeless dogs every day. I give her a lot of food to help her.
Her own,
these aren't her animals.
Them. I know.
These are street animals.
So many. So tell me, how big of a problem is this?
Humongous.
Because it's we see little corridors of an animal here under a bridge and, cat here running, but I don't think we see the monotony of what it is.
Houston has become known as the stray capital of the United States. And there needs to be comprehensive programs and education to stop the program. And it's not going to happen overnight.
Wow, yeah, you actually brought a chart, I think, that was let me grab that, because I think that we were looking at that before the show started. It really helps the viewers to kind of understand
the problem.
Yeah, and it's really smart that you put something like that together. So essentially, this is 2023.
Yes, this is an actual scenario from Citizens for Animal Protection. This, just discounting the issue with stray dogs, look at the cat population in and of itself. If you take 1,300 female intact cats at the beginning of the year, at the end of 1 year, they are directly responsible based on normal biology of a cat, reproductive biology. They're responsible for 41,000 kittens. That is a true scenario of what you're up against.
What do you find to be the ultimate solution?
It's not just a single thing. I advocated to City Council a few programs that would alleviate the program. First of all, we've got to go and have public service announcements for a minimum of 2 years, advocating for spay-neuter, especially in your lower socioeconomic areas of Houston.
Yeah.
That being one. There are programs defined by the American Society of Shelter Veterinarians that we can implement to hopefully get to a place in our shelter where there's a 90% live release rate. Shelter should be the last option, not the first in taking these animals.
Right. Well, I want to bring on an additional guest that's going to kind of tie in and segue to what we're speaking of. Joining us from Emancipet Veterinarian Clinic, here to share the important services they provide, from low-cost wellness visits to spray and neuter programs, and how they're helping improve the lives of both pets and families in our community. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you
Wonderful.
for having me.
Yes, it's great that we were able to get in touch with you and someone from your clinic, of course, so that we could kind of connect some of the dots here and see how things could be helped. But tell us a little bit about the clinic.
Sure. Well, Emancipet's a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to make veterinary care affordable and accessible for everyone. And
I love that. And where are you guys located?
In Houston, we have 3 brick and mortar locations. One is located off of South Wayside Drive, which is in the east end of Houston. We have another location off of Gulf Freeway, which is South Houston near Hobby Airport, and our newest location off of Northwest Freeway inside of PetSmart.
Okay, that's fantastic. And have you guys been around for a long time?
Yeah, the organization has been around over 25 years now, and in Houston, we have been around almost a decade.
Okay, and these services, if somebody can't afford them, y'all actually are providing them, or how exactly does that work?
Yeah, so we offer affordable vet care at accessible pricing. Of course, we would never turn away anybody based on a financial reason. And we're a nonprofit, so we rely on donations from sponsors and also community support to continue offering those services at an affordable price.
Wonderful. And 25 years, 3 locations, it sounds like we've got some really good support there, to keep that going. Have you ever worked with their locations?
I'm very familiar with Emancipet. There's several low-cost veterinary places in town to get veterinary services.
Yeah.
Emancipet's got a very good reputation.
That is great. And have you been there for a long time, Stephanie?
Yeah, I've been there for many years now. Definitely more than I can count on one hand. But it's been amazing just to grow with the organization and just to see the impact that we have in the communities and hear the wonderful stories from our clients.
That's what I was kind of going to ask. So, what kind of impact have you, directly been a part of?
So being with Emancipet for so many years now, we've gone through so many things. We've gone through a pandemic. We've gone through so many natural disasters, and just seeing that we're continuing to provide that care despite, those going through COVID or through any sort of natural disaster that we face here. We continue to open our doors and make sure that we are providing that care for our pets and people that have pets in the community.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So anybody can walk in or make an appointment, but you guys also service the walk-in individuals too? Yeah,
absolutely. And that's really important because of accessibility. We have the walk-in option for people to come in and see a vet that same day, or they can make an appointment based on their schedule. So we like to cater to anybody in their busy schedule.
Okay. Is there any kind of stories that kind of come to mind when I You think about the different families that have come in with animals.
Oh my gosh, I could be here all day with the stories.
Yeah, I bet.
And we hear so many wonderful stories every day, but one that's jumping out at me is recently at a community event, I had a Emancipet client come to share her story that one of her pets received heartworm treatment at an Emancipet clinic, and now he's reportedly completely heartworm free. Amazing. And he's able to go out and attend these community events and just thrive and be healthy, and that's wonderful to hear. It just brings us so much joy.
I bet, because that's like, a brand new life for that animal and what could have been. So that's wonderful to hear. We do have to take a commercial break, so we will come back. But before we cut to commercial break, I want to take a moment to remember a very special young girl, Miss Ashley, who recently lost her battle with cancer. Our foundation, Hatching for Rides, has had the honor of supporting her and her family, helping them with rides to their treatments, and even enjoying a fun day of the pumpkin patch all together. Her courage and bright spirit touched all of us. So we just want to take a moment to give silence to honor Ashley and celebrate her life. Thank you for taking that moment of silence. Ashley, you will always be remembered.
Your private practice deserves more than sticky notes and missed calls. Funnel Cake MD is the HIPAA-compliant growth platform built for doctors and dentists. Manage calls, texts, and emails in one secure inbox. Book more patients, cut the admin chaos, and keep your front desk sane. Try it free for 14 days with full white glove onboarding so you're running smooth from day one. Don't let outdated software hold you back. Sweeten your growth with Funnel Cake MD. Start your free trial now at funnelcakemd.ai.
Funnel Cake MD, all-in-one tool to grow your practice.
No one plans to be in an accident. Big truck wrecks, car wrecks, and drunk drivers can cause catastrophic injuries, brain damage, amputations, and death. These cases require aggressive, tough lawyers. With over 100 years of experience, Thomas N. Thurlow and Associates will fight to get you what you deserve. There's no upfront cost, no obligation unless we win, and you pay nothing out of pocket. Call today to get the justice that's owed to you.
In 2020, I was going to work and the stairs of my apartment broke, and I went 20 feet through, breaking my back in 2 places and 5 discs herniated. I was scared, alone. After meeting Dr. Remy Nader and his staff, it got me back to not only the dad I used to be, but the person I used to be too.
At the International Center for Neuroscience, we take pride in providing you second opinions for your brain or spine problems. I'm Dr. Remy Nader, board-certified neurosurgeon. Let me help you get your life back.
Welcome back to the Hatching for Health show. I'm your host, Jessica Hatch. We're continuing our conversation with Stephanie from Emancipet Veterinary Clinic, an incredible organization that's making veterinary care accessible and affordable to everyone. So we were just kind of learning about some of the stories and things of people that you've had come in, and I think it's so beautiful what you guys do, and just loving that there's these options out there in the community for people like Anastasia, that is such a huge advocate. Just having these different resources to turn to, I think, is beautiful. Now, Anastasia, you also mentioned some programs before we started the show. Tell me about some of those that you'd like to see implemented.
Well, there's what we call best practices at the shelter and best practices out of the shelter. Mm-hmm. And we need to focus much more on the out of the shelter in order to keep that animal from ever getting to the shelter. There are programs like public service announcements. I know Tim's going to talk about service animals. We've tried, it's on the mayor's desk right now, a program called Save the Dog Now. And it is putting service animals with appropriate veterans.
Right.
The problem is that these veterans, most of the time, don't have access to these service animals. They're very, very expensive to get. We have a program where the service animal is trained by the veteran, meeting certain guidelines and parameters along the way. That way we can get more service animals to the appropriate person.
I think that's incredible. I mean, that's a great like synergy
It
for the
takes
two.
animals out of the shelter.
And everybody loves to have that companion, especially with some of the PTSD that they go through. Just getting their hands on an animal that's vaccine, had all of the things and ready to be in someone's home and not worried about those costs and expenses. So I think that's beautiful. We're actually going to bring Tim on the show with one of the service dogs he has. So let's welcome Tim Stroud to the show. Joining us now is Tim Stroud, the founder of Stay Tuned for Vets, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting the mental health of our nation's veterans in many meaningful ways. One of the most remarkable ways that they helped is providing service dogs, giving veterans the support, companionship, and confidence they need to thrive after service. We're thrilled to have you.
Thanks, we're excited to be here. In fact, he's going to stand up and he's like, oh, I'm going to be on TV. And as we talked off camera,
Does he always do that,
it's
right, when
okay
the
to say
camera
hello.
hits him?
You know what? It's just like you read your guest's energy.
Awesome.
He reads the energy from me and others in the room. Just like he's sitting next to you right now, he's going to do what's called a compression lean. He's going to lean back to you and make sure that you know that you're safe and it's okay. And so when we go out to our partnering organizations like Camp Hope, or we're doing some work with Serve in the community, we'll see a veteran that just hasn't found his road to recovery, or hers. And so Colten will come in. He's trained as both a service dog and a therapy dog.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
My dog, which is not a service dog, but it does things like this, and I'm always like, you need to be a service dog. It's just these little things that like calm you, like in the midst of, like you said, for me, I just have a high energy right there, but that could have been me upset, and and they'll do things like that, and just it's so beautiful that they're just very intelligent,
Oh, absolutely. And as Anastasia was talking about, it's such a symbiotic bond when it comes to when you get the right human and the right canine together, and both are trained properly and they can move forward. And that's what my daughter Amber and I were talking about when 2 years ago we looked at what kind of organization did we want to have to support veterans. And Amber asked me, what are you good at? And I was like, well, there's finances and marketing. And she's like, boring. And she's like, come on, Boomer, come up with something great.
Right.
And I was like, Boomer? And she's like, well, you know what I'm talking about. And I said, yes. I said, what if we did something creative? Acting, dancing, singing, podcasting, woodworking. Because of our friends with Chard and Starred and AD players at the George Theater, am I boring you? We get to do some great things in the community and put veterans and their family members in classes where it doesn't have that clinical feel. So they're going into an environment they can let their hair down, relax, and connect with each other, but also learn something in the process and probably find a new hobby or sometimes a new vocation.
I think that is incredible. So, and then on the element of, the service dogs, which I know Anastasia, we were talking a little bit about that before, about programs. It seems like what you're doing is exactly what she's envisioning on like just a even larger scale, because you said already you'll have like 50-something service dogs with veterans right now?
Yeah, our partnership with Easter Seals of Greater Houston is just amazing. We're funded in part by the Texas Veteran and Family Alliance through the Texas Veterans Commission. So when you buy off your scratch-off tickets, make sure you buy the ones that read supporting veterans.
Okay.
Because money from that ticket goes to support veterans in Houston and around Texas, so in all 254 counties. But Easter Seals Greater Houston focuses on Harris County and the surrounding counties to make sure that veterans, when they transition, that they're able to do it with the help and love that they need. And the service dog program works in a couple parts, like Anastasia was talking about. There's an online portion that that they use, but a lot of it is in person through Allie Keaton and her group called My Service Dog. So if I give you a brand new, Anastasia, if I give you a brand new car, and it's like, ooh, here's a $120,000 car.
Yeah.
By the way, you don't need a key. You can use everything from your phone. I got to teach her how to drive the car. Otherwise, I've given her a liability, right?
There you go.
Same thing with a service dog.
Of course.
Make sure that the dog and the human are going through together over 2 years worth of training. And it's partly the time, but also the cost to get that canine coupled with the right veteran.
I bet.
It's tremendously expensive to provide a service animal at the end of 2 years.
How much do you think it costs, Jessica?
Well, I know I took some courses to try and have my animals become that, because I was very curious, and I think it was around $300 to $500. That was just though like an online thing I took. It was
Right.
not anything in person with the animal.
Well, that'll get you
That
started.
was just like like some kind of test to make sure I knew what we were getting ourselves into. But what's it cost?
It's anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 because now you're talking about the health care. And the dog needs to go in for the regular treat, so you have to spay, neuter the dog. You've got to train them up. They have to go through making sure that they get the AKC, Good Companion,
Of course,
or one of the PAC classes, and making sure that, like if we're at a restaurant and I drop a piece of chicken on the floor and I tell Colten to leave it, if he eats it, well, he fails. You don't want to be eating a nice steak or even a sandwich and having a dog come in and piddle or poo.
Right.
And so it's the basics, but then taking it up a level. And then
So many aspects. You have to cover those bases in the environments that they're planning on being taken into.
Right. And Colten is trained for anxiety. So if a veteran has post-traumatic stress, TBI, military sexual trauma, or just high anxiety when he or she goes out in public, can lower that one. But the dogs are trained to support the human. So if there's somebody that has high anxiety and they need to take a certain medication, or they have a heart medication, or they're going to have a seizure, that dog can alert them.
And actually,
absolutely.
give
And what a blessing, right?
I know, that is beautiful. And I wanted to turn to Stephanie and ask, with Emancipet, do you guys, is there any opportunities that y'all have to prepare an animal, getting ready to become a service dog, or I guess cats don't become, I was gonna say, or cat, but no, just with the dogs. Do you guys kind of have any program there internally that you're knowing, okay, this is what our preparation is for?
More on the vet care side of it, so making sure that they're receiving the necessary vaccinations and just ongoing care. I know Tim mentioned spay and neuter. That's something that we are, we're the experts at spay and neuter. It's a high volume clinic, and so we have seen many service animals come through our doors, and it's always a wonderful experience. But yeah, definitely on the vet care side is where we can support that.
Yeah, I think
the issue with service animals, Tim was saying how expensive it is, and that's why so many veterans don't get these service animals. And with the Save the Dog program, they actually train their own pet dog, and we partner them with an appropriate dog from the shelter.
What a great
Trying
program.
To save shelter dogs.
Yeah.
And they train it meeting certain specifications and criteria as they train the animal. And it's a lot more cost effective.
That's polar opposite than our public school system, where you just drop your kid off and like pick him up when he comes to college. We'll just take him.
Yeah.
So that one takes the veteran and the canine as well, and partners them together. And with our program, we eliminate the cost. And so the veteran comes through. They after 2 years, obviously they need to take care of the dog's health and wellness. But besides that, training's taken care of.
Yeah, of course. I feel like I want to explore so many more things with all of you. But where can people get in touch with you if they're looking for services that you offer?
And thanks for asking. They can simply go to staytunedforvets.org and they can request the help, and we will plug them into the system, because we work with so many different organizations, the WAVES Project, Serve, Impact to Hero, Combined Arms, and the list goes on and on.
Connected.
We can find out what path and what resource is available, and we can make sure they're connected.
Okay, and Anastasia, what about yourself if someone wants to connect with you?
They can call me at home.
Okay, we'll put your number up there.
I don't care. I have so many people call me, I don't know, asking me questions about veterinary care, about how they can borrow, get some food to feed such a pack of animals, or I don't mind if
keep you on
knows
speed
my
dial.
number.
Well, that's beautiful. I love what you're doing. And Stephanie, I guess, is it emancipet.com or .org?
Right, yeah. You can learn more about our services at emancipet.org, and also where we're located, our 3 clinic locations. And if anybody at home is interested in volunteering or supporting our mission, they can donate at emancipet.org.
Okay, and I think from volunteering perspective, any of you would be interested in that, based on the various needs. So it's been so good to have all of you on, and I love that I now know all of you for needs that I have or somebody else, because it's great things you're doing in the community. So thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're almost out of time for today's episode, but before we go, we wanted to share our weekly Golden Egg Raffle giveaway. We have Texan tickets that were generously secured by the Hatching for Health Foundation at the Imagine Away Gala. And one lucky winner will not only get the tickets, but will also be picked up and driven to the game in our Mercedes luxury sprinter van and brought back home safely. To enter, simply DM us on Instagram at Hatching for Health. And thank you all for tuning in and supporting our community, both with humans and animals we serve. I'm your host, Jessica Hatch. Catch you back here next week on the Hatching for Health show.